And
Hey, welcome
hello.
back. Welcome back to Two Tired Teachers. I'm Vinay.
And I'm Rumi.
So we're back with you again today because we're going to have a brief conversation about how we think we're going to do some things in our classroom in the midst of everything that's going on. Since the last time we spoke to you guys, we kind of sort of finally know kind of sort of exactly what we have to do. At least we have some dates as to when we have to go back and when we have to move in and when the professional developments start and all of those things, which we're so happy about, um, considering. So we just thought we'd come on it today and just throw out a few little things that we're going to, I should say, I'm going to attempt. She pretty much has already done to prepare for in the event that we either have to teach virtually or things close down and we have to go home again. So we're trying to get prepared for that. And I think I'm the one that needs the most preparation. I think in one of the previous videos, I said numerous times that I was not the techie geek, unlike my counterpart here. And she has been working her keister off. Is that offensive? I don't know.
It's good. It's good.
Okay. She's been working very, very hard. Unlike what the public seems to think, that we sit at home and do absolutely nothing when school is not going on. But she's been working really, really hard to get a lot of virtual things in place. So even if we don't end up coming back home for any amount of time, she is all good to go as far as her virtual learning goes. So I will let her speak a little bit, and I think we're going to at least show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you what I've tried thus far, and I'm going to let her probably do most of the talking because she's done a lot of work. And in an earlier video, way back when we first started, I think, we talked about how teachers steal from each other. Well, thankfully, we teach the same grade level and the same subjects.
Yes.
So guess what? It's good for me. Take it away.
It has never been my problem, you know that. I strongly believe, and I have been telling that for years and years and years. I learned around 20% in my career in the college, about 20% of what I know now. The other 80% is because I literally steal it from somebody in the classroom. You know, you go around and you look at teachers, what they're doing, and then you try, and literally majority of the experience came with looking at what other people are doing. So I don't have any kind of problem of giving it and sharing it. So it's not a big deal for me at all. Oops, it has never been a, I learned from somebody, so if somebody can learn from me, that's okay. It's not a big deal for me. So just like when I said, in my district where, well, as you know by now, we are separating after a year together. An interesting year, very interesting one.
At least.
Okay, so I'm going back to the district where I was, and I kind of had that moment when we shut down. It was like, I know I have to do a lot of things, but I was not allowed to do a lot of things. You know, each district has different things to that they're allowed or not and everything. And then suddenly it was every day we had to produce something to be in the Google Classroom. And yes, we can say that even though it's a, you know, a program, because in reality it was not teaching. We were not exactly teaching. It was an emergency and we were getting materials all over the place. and we had to figure out what to do and how to do it. So it was a interesting situation. So I took that time to go around and look at what else is out there, how I can make it easy for me and for the kids and for the parents at the same time. And I took time to prepare, to go through it, to get different certifications and things like this, and to start building some kind of library, digital library that I can use immediately right now, and we're good to go.
Now, let me stop her right here and just throw this in. And I say this with all the love and kindness that I have in my heart that you can see in my face. I don't know any other way to say this, but to say it. For my fellow teachers who are of a certain age. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just put it out there in the video sphere or whatever it's called. In 5 months and some days, I'll be 60 years old. 60. Many of our fellow professionals that are in that age group tend to be fearful of technology. How I think about technology is like this, and I've said it over and over again in various videos. Show me what to do. I'm probably not going to delve into it very deeply, but I will do enough so that I can be familiar enough to get some things done. May not necessarily have all the bling, bling, bling like Roomy, but I know enough to get the things done. And I cannot be afraid of it because it is what is expected. So I say to all of my fellow professionals that are of a certain age who are fearful of the technology, are fearful of learning something new, do not be fearful, because once you learn it and you're able to do it, it will simplify things. It will simplify things, and you won't get that look or that evaluation statement from your administration saying that you're lacking in this area. It is just where we are in the world. It's not going to go backwards. It's only going to go forward. So we have to be prepared. And how do we become prepared? We learn how to do it, and then we use it. And that, I don't know any other way to say that. I hear all of the time from fellow professionals who are in this age group that they're just, I'm fearful, I'm too old, I don't want to learn it. And yeah, we may all be close to retirement, but at the same time, we're not there yet. So I have to use it. It's part of our standards as far as technology goes. Most of the curriculum and everything that we're getting now is all technologically based. We're even in our district, which she's already familiar with this because they use it in their district too. We're going over to a whole nother platform, which adds a whole nother level of technology that I now have to wrap my head around. As soon as I learned Google Classroom to a place where I felt like, oh, I got this. Then they threw this next platform on us. And all I'm saying is don't be afraid to try. At the end of the day, it's a machine, it's an inanimate object. It doesn't matter if you mess up a few times, just keep chugging away and do what you can do. And that's it. But just don't be fearful of it because it's something that we have to do. Okay, Miss Google, certified Google lady.
Okay. Yes, I did that. But I want to say that majority of us already use extensively Google. We just don't know the tricks and tricks that go around all of the apps for Google and add-ons. Which when you go, I figure, okay, so I'll just go to the training and get the certification for Google Educator. And it was very fruitful. But I want to say to everybody that is listening out there, I did not learn technology and how to use the technology because I have some kind of degree or something like that. No, I started with asking questions. I asked my son, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then we got to the point where he kind of stopped liking me. So I had to find another resource. And then I figure out the big secret of how to learn how to do things in technology. And this is my secret. I'm straightforward putting it there. Google it.
Yes, literally.
And if it comes up in Google, you will find out a video about the same thing in YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be just one. Literally, I have learned more about how to do things about the videos that teachers are putting in YouTube or coaches that are putting on YouTube, that all of the PDs that we have in schools that are kind of fast, and just Google what you need to know and then straightforward from them to YouTube and make the search and start looking at videos. I will tell you that's the big secret. It's easy. You will probably find around 100 videos of things that you need to know, and it will be step by step by step by step. And I'm not talking just about Google. If you're using Canva, if you're using Schoology, if you're using whatever else you're using, every program that you think that you can use, there is some kind of video of how to do it on YouTube.
And I'll also say that with those 100 videos and things that she's talking about, you may have to, because I know for me, all of us learn differently. So you may have to look at a few to figure out which one best suits your needs and find that personality that works for you. So don't just pull up one and then say, oh, well, he's too, or she is putting out too much vocabulary, or she's being too technical. Go to the next one, and you may have to go through 5 or 6 before you find one that you're comfortable with, but don't let that be a reason to not do it, is my point. Don't let that be a reason to not do it, because like she said, there are a gazillion people out there sharing information, and at least one of those people in that gazillion, yes, I say gazillion people, will fit your needs. Because I'm gonna show in a few minutes my first attempt at a virtual classroom, and I found a YouTube video and I just followed her step by step. I found several of them, but this particular teacher was one that I could understand what she was talking about, and she did it step by step. So every time she did something, I did it. And then she said, do this, and I did it. And she said, do this. So I was able to start, or, you know, I have a template now for a virtual classroom, which I'll show in a few minutes. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm the same way. I do have sites that I keep. Alice Keeler is one. Keeler. It's one of the sites because she is very, very precise of what to do and how to do it, and the library that she has, it's enormous. I do like what's the name, Gary? The Out Control Edit website. I will look at it and I'll post it underneath if it's in the description box. That's another one that it's just amazing. And lately I have been using a lot Slide Mania, because the lady is so amazing. She does all of the templates and she gives it away freely. You can go to the website and straightforward download that. And then our educators start jumping on that. Oh, I have this template, I'm sharing it with you, and things like this. So this has been a time saver and a lifesaver for me. So I do have specific websites that I go, but majority of it's YouTube.
Yeah. And if you're a Twitter person, if you are an Instagram person, if you are a Facebook person, there is a Facebook group, there's a Twitter group, there is an Instagram group. Put it in the search bar, whatever it is you're looking for, there's a group out there that can help you. And like Ruby said, most of them give away a lot of free content that you can download and make it your own. So again, don't be afraid, just get it done. So one of the things that we're finding is, because we're gonna have to be in a socially distanced situation, and I don't know about where you may be, but for us specifically, we know that we're supposed to, at least in my district for sure, they spent a lot of money on the plexiglass dividers. So we know that the kids that come face to face are gonna have plexiglass dividers. We know at our small group tables, there's gonna be that beautiful plexiglass divider that divides me from them and all of those kind of things. And we also found out in our district that they did purchase technology for every student in the district so that they can all be one-to-one. So every kid, whether they are online or face-to-face, will have technology that they will use for the rest of this year. So it became necessary, and she's shared many of these things with me before I even, and I would say, okay, thank you, and I would just go on. And now that now that I'm trying to be serious about it and really put some thought into it, there are numerous virtual things that you can use for every subject under the sun. So we're math and science people. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll list them in the description underneath the video, but there's a plethora of virtual math manipulatives that you can use. Many of them are free. Some of them are not, but there's enough of them out there that you don't really have to spend any money, that you can use to show things to your students, and your students can use them as well, since we're in a situation where we may not be able to pass out manipulatives in the classrooms because of having to sterilize and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be a lot of trouble. You can put them on their technology and they can use the manipulatives from their technology, which for me, when I finally started playing with them, was like beyond awesome. And then, there's even some, and again, like she said, you may have to Google it, you may have to YouTube it, look for a group on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and they'll tell you where to go look for these things. We're gonna put some in the description box, but it's out there. Yeah. You have to just do the work. And so they've been, I've just been really impressed with them. And there are also science virtual situations that you can use. One of them is the University of Colorado, is that it?
It's University of Colorado simulations.
Okay, University of Colorado simulations.
Yes.
If you're doing social studies, I know that they have the tours that you can go to all kind of historical sites and do virtual tours. And I believe that's through, it'll come to me in a minute. Sorry, I'm having one of those moments. But it's out there. My point is, it's out there. And I actually, in a training that I had on yesterday, a technology training, somebody showed virtual manipulation of cursive writing, where the kid could literally trace the letters on the screen. It was just like a regular handwriting booklet with the lines, and the little dots and everything, that when they're teaching them how to write, they could literally just trace the stuff right on the screen. So it's out there. It is definitely out there. And we know for sure in those districts that are offering it, some of our students are not going to show up at school, and we're going to have to set some things up. And because this is the beginning of the year, which is very critical with the relationship piece and, really getting them on track with where you're trying to go for that year, it's really going to be important that whatever it is that you put in the videosphere, or however you send it out there in the technosphere, that it be good content so that they won't just be sitting at home doing something mindless. Now, many districts are doing something where the students that are at home have an actual live situation where they have to be in class as if they were in class in the brick and mortar, but some are not. And so, because they're not, they didn't set it up that way. So either way that the student has to work with that situation, we want to make sure that we're putting out the best content that's going to do what it's supposed to do for that student. So you're going to show us some things that you did.
So I am going to show you this one because this is one of the most asked questions, as you can see right here. Let me put it in present so you can see it. I hope you can see it. Can you see it on my share?
That's awesome. Yes.
So this right here, obviously it's me. And there is a program where you can actually make that. And it's free. So it's called UnScreened. So you make your video you just make your video of yourself doing whatever gesture you want. Should not be more than 5 seconds. You upload it, and that site will remove everything that is around you, and then it's going to make it a jive. Now this one, it's one of the templates, and if I can just click on that, and the activity will say what it is, and then each activity is connected to another one. And this one will open a video for them so they can watch the video. That's another site that I strongly recommend to everybody. It's called SafeYouTube. You get the link from the YouTube video, you put it there. That site will remove everything from the video. There is no the other videos to the sites, ads, interruption. It's just the video, and it's safe for the kids to watch that. And then, as you can see, it's pretty much going around and presenting this another activity. It's connected to a virtual manipulatives, and going around and around until they get to the end of the activity. And it's how it is. That one, then this is another one, and it's presented as a notebook. And the notebook, it's coming. This is one of the templates from Slide Mania. You just have to manipulate the template, and it's the same thing. You click, they can go from one side to another side. Each one can be connected to another. The images are coming from another site, and that other site will let you have images that are license free. So you can use those without any kind of problem. So you don't have to fear what is it and how is it and can I use it, or if it's going to be blocked if I put that one on YouTube or whatever it is. And finally, I have been doing the virtual it's kind of interactive sheet, so where they have to do that, and they can move and drop the answers like this, and then coming back on that one. And they can move just the ones that I want them to move, not the ones that cannot do anything on that thing. I do have, hold on, I'm going to show one more just because I want to. It's coming. Okay. Yes, I gave in just like everybody else to the integrating of Bitmojis in your presentations or your classroom if you want to, but otherwise, you know, it's I'm using this one or the animated jive for myself, you know, whatever I need to, and I integrate that to the slides. And when they have to do that, something else it will come up and be done. And this is by the basic things on my side. The way that I did the game board and the notebook, it was not by lesson, but all of the concepts that we see in 5th grade for fractions, all of the concepts that we see for decimals. And I just separated them by difficulty. I kind of went down 1 grade and then I went up 1 grade for the differentiation. But then the activities that they have connected, it's the same thing. It will take them to the activities, but the activities are already assigned to each kid, and you can have kids in different levels, like scaffolding the activities for everybody. One more thing that I want to say, you will have a lot of virtual manipulatives and open sources that you can use. But, and I'm just going to say, if you want to make it an experience one-on-one for the kids, you will have to pay some kind of fee to have your kids in a classroom. So my favorite one for manipulatives is Braining Camp. And if you pay the fee, you can have the open version. That's not a problem. But once you pay the fee, I can include all of my students. It's teacher and classes. And then they will go in and work, but you can see what they're working and you can work with them on their work when if you decide to pay that. I have not decided yet. I'll wait and see, you know, but there are sites where for the fee, when you buy the extension of the site, you will have this coming in and out with every student, if that's an option for you.
Yeah,
you know.
And I wanted her to show those because not only are those activities that she can have students do that are away from her, but those can be used in the classroom as well. And because, you know, we may not have the opportunity at the beginning of the year to do centers how we normally do centers or stations or whatever it is that you call them, the rotations, we may not be able to do them the way that we normally do them. This is a good option for your students to be able to work on those different kinds of activities to take the place of physically moving around the room doing different stations.
Yes.
And I thought they were just all very good. And because she did them by content area as you go through the curriculum, and you'll have them forever. You'll have them for until then.
Yes.
And it's not something that you have to continue to do over and over again. I mean, you may have to tweak it for wherever you get the templates from. You may have to tweak it to go with your district's curriculum, but for the most part, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And that's the good thing of going out there, like she said from the beginning, and Googling it or YouTubing it or going to find a group that does that kind of thing. They're gonna give you enough free content that you'll be able to work on some of that on your own. What were you gonna say?
I just wanted to jump in. So for example, in all of these things that they have, my rule was if I wanted to present the content, I wanted a video that it's interesting for them and it's a part kind of connected to real life. But there is a lot of videos of me doing the different grades of presentation in the different levels. So my idea was if they're at home or they're with me, but we have to be separated, they can do a practice working with me, but looking at the video.
Right.
So they click on their video and then they just go with me and solving that before moving to the next level. So I just use different ways that I can do that, and everything that it's in my videos and I'm working on it, it's already presented in Google Slides, on Google Documents, and they can literally go in and write on top of that same document. They're using exactly the same thing that they're going to see in the video doing.
And so we don't have that much more to talk about, but I did want to show this because this seems to be the thing that everybody is doing now. And
Go
it's
ahead.
the virtual classroom. And I'm just putting this out here because I'm trying to let you know, if I can do this, anyone can do this. I can do it, anyone can do it. So this is the one that I started. Oh, you gotta let me do it. I can't share.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry, technical difficulty.
There you go.
Thanks.
You're ready to go.
So, where is it? Where'd it go?
It's somewhere.
It is, but it's not where I need it to be.
Don't worry, it's there. As everything, it's there.
Hold on. I know what happened.
And while Renee's doing that, let me tell you that for the longest time, I resisted to use the Bitmojis. I really did. But then, oh, look at you. Oh, God.
So this is my start. And I'm just gonna say, if I can fiddle with this and do this much, anybody can do it. Now, for the team that I'm on this year, they've decided that this is one of the ways that we're going to introduce ourselves to our parents, because we don't know if we're having meet the teacher in person or if it's going to be virtual. But either way, we are all going to come up with a page. And eventually, each of these things will be something that you can click on and it's going to give you some kind of information behind it. But my bottom line is, if I can get this done, which when I first saw the virtual classrooms that everybody was setting up, I thought, oh, those are just so cute and I'll never be able to do that. Ta-da, I'm able to do it. And so this probably took me with doing it back and forth with the video, just because I'm kind of, oh, I can't make up my mind. What do I want here? What do I want there? Probably took me 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. So you can whip these things out. You can hyperlink things to these so that I can click on this and it'll be something behind it. You can put actual pictures of you in it if you wanted to do that. But my point is, you can do this. If I can do it, everybody can do it. Yeah. And I also was loving this. I don't know where it is right now. I can't see it. Nope, that's not what I wanted, not the whiteboard. Okay, one more time. Let me get rid of this.
So you learned that there is a whiteboard that you can use?
Yeah, I did learn that. But that was not what I was trying to get through. I'm trying to get to this here.
It will come up.
Again, I'm even using an old computer, but this is one of the virtual manipulatives that I've used in a training a couple of days ago that I thought there's no reason for me not to be able to do this. So even with this old computer that I'm on, and I just picked this because it was easy. If I'm doing ones, you can bring them out in 5s, you can bring them out in 10s, whatever it is that you want to do. And you can also take the writing tool and you can write on the screen with this, and your students can do it as well. And now that I know that Zoom has a feature where you can turn your screen over to your student and they could be the ones writing on this manipulative. This is like a find for me. Now, again, I'm not a tech geek, but if I can navigate this just like I did, and even though I was kind of rough doing it, sharing it with you, anybody can do this. It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. So,
don't go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You click on the T.
Yeah.
You can literally type.
Yeah.
On that one.
And if you have a touch screen, you can do it with your finger. You can use a stylus, whatever works for you. And I just pulled up this one, but this actual site has various different ones, and there's a web version as well as something in the Chrome store if you have the ability to be able to download something on the Chromebooks, and it has it in the Apple store. But I'm using it straight from the web. So it's not even something that you have to necessarily download. You can just use it straight from the web. The things are there. We may have to do a little research to go out there and find them, but the stuff is there. So don't be afraid to use some of those situations. And so the next thing that I'm gonna teach myself is how to use these breakout rooms right here in Zoom. Because if we have to do small groups, it's the perfect way for you to do a small group if you have to do it virtually. You can put them on a Zoom and put them in breakout groups. And from what I understand, I haven't tried it as of yet, but because I've been in situations where we had to do it in professional development, I know I can have them do random groups, or I can choose the groups that they're gonna be in every single time. You can put a timer on it so they know exactly this is gonna be a 2-minute thing. I can join a group so that I can see what they're talking about and what they're doing in all of those situations. So we don't have any excuses.
Not anymore.
For not keeping up with these things that are out there for us to use. So don't be afraid, because we're going into uncharted territory. I don't know what state some of you may be in, but for us in this state, all the messages are mixed.
Oh, beyond. Beyond.
I don't want to get her started, but all the messages are mixed. So, you know, every day we wake up and turn on the news and there's something else. So we don't really, exactly, literally. We don't really know what we're walking into. Some people in this state and other districts, our attorney general in this state made a statement. So the next day, their districts retracted all of their virtual learning and told them they all have to show up and do face-to-face, like overnight. So that's how fast stuff changes in this state. And I hope it is not like that wherever you are. I hope you're getting some quality guidance. Ooh. Yeah, so don't be afraid to go out there and explore. And again, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I hope this is helpful for you. I know right now a lot of people are doing room setups and that kind of thing. We don't know. Yeah, we're moving in next week. So, and I'm sure I'm not going to be doing any videos of me moving in, because we still, in my district, don't even know how many kids are not coming, or if things may change in the next board meeting, which is, we got another week for that. So we just wanted to throw this out here and give you a couple of little hints. I know that the younger people, you're all on top of that, because most of the information that I've gotten and the YouTubes that I've gotten it from you, and I appreciate you. But I'm speaking to those of us in a certain age group who don't want to do it. Do it. Do it. It's going to make life easy for you. And talk to other people. Talk to the people that can do it, because I'm sure that they will share with you. And again, there's a lot of free content out there. You just have to go out there and get it. You just have to go out there and get it. So I just want to encourage you to be virtual, because we don't know what's going to happen. You know, we're here today and tomorrow we may not be. So as far as in person, and the next day we may be at home and vice versa. And this may be the way it is for ever and ever. And if you have technology as part of your standards, we need to be doing this anyway, because this is the way that society is going. It's all technological. So you can do it.
And take in account that it's probably the safest way. You don't pass papers, you don't go around to do that. You don't have to have materials that everybody's sharing, even though majority of us is like individual, but we can tell you as math and science teachers, there is no way a school will have enough materials, manipulatives, but every kid to have their own baggie with manipulatives. It's impossible, because that's not how schools are supplying those.
Right.
So getting these things, and I want to say that I'll look it up of the programs that I know about language arts and social studies. I got stuck in that one that you were talking about, social studies. They're virtual trips that you can literally send them to a virtual trip through a museum, through history and things like this. They're live camps that you can put the kids on live camps and tell them, hey, listen, I want you to describe the habitat of that specific animal, or go and find me a tropical forest habitat. And they can literally go and find live camps all around the world. We'll put them in the description so you can have access to them. I found the one that I wanted to say, because I think the guy is just amazing. The website is Control Out and Bob, and his name is Eric Kurtz. If you can, I'll link it down, but I think he has a beyond things, how you can do it step by step, and what you can use. Specifically, if you're working with Google, he is certified Google trainer. So that's a very good site to start. My thing will be, if this year you decide to buy, because you know we teachers never buy supplies. This year, if you need to buy, don't buy pencils, don't buy baggies, don't buy stickers. Either way, you're not going to be allowed to share those things. Invest in something that will help you going forward with having it at home and doing the work at home without depending if you're in school or not. A great document camera, a great camera if you don't have. Now, don't get me wrong. We used a phone and iPad, so whatever works, but invest on these things so you can have them at home. And if you decide to pay for something online, then should be something that includes you and whatever kids you have, that they can have access for that. I think this year will be completely different of what we're used to, completely different. So just think of, I approached it like, what do I need in case that we cannot touch each other, and yet I can still see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and they can see me what I'm doing and how I'm doing it in the same time. Zoom is a good resource, but not every district is doing Zoom. If you are Microsoft district, then Teams works perfectly well. I mean, they have everything. They even have integrated in the OneNote, which there you go. You have your digital notebook for everybody there. It depends on what platform the district is using, but majority of the times, it's absolutely possible, just like with Zoom that we're using right now. One thing that it's not working the same way, it's going to be Meets, Google Meets, and I'm just giving you the information in case that your district, it's a Google district and that's what you're using. Meets, it's phasing out their recording. So you will not be able to record whatever you're teaching in Meets. That makes it twice for you, teaching once in the classroom and then recording it again for the kids that are at home. So look at that thing and what you can use instead of that.
So I think we're just about finished. Be encouraged, stay safe. Don't do like me and every day freak out over something else. But if you're in that space where you need to feel it, feel it. Because at this point, there's nothing that we can do about it. Have a great rest of the week. That's about all I can say. Our next video will probably 100% be a rant.
Yes.
Because by then we will have had to go in the building.
After we get,
well, at least I will, because we're doing our, even though we're started face to face, and our professional development begins in about a week, and it is face to face in the building. So I'm sure that we'll be ready to rant by then. So look forward to that. And then you can drop some comments or send us some emails with your rants so that we can see and know that we are not alone. We're gonna put Michael Jackson, "We Are Not Alone."
Yeah.
That's the song. I should have ended with that. I should have played that. I should have played it. "You Were Not Alone" by Michael Jackson. So we're going to put all those links, or some of those links that we talked about, in the description box. And again, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, those are your friends. You can do it. We can do it. And we will get through this together, regardless of what the negative people are saying about teachers and what we don't do and what we don't deserve and those kind of things. We know the truth. We know. We're right here together. We know the truth. We know you're working hard. We know you are nervous and anxious all at the same time. So are we. So we're all in this together, and we just have to do what we can do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end it with that, and I'm going to say, Vinay out.
Well, just stay safe, people. Try everything possible to stay safe. Take your precautions, whatever it takes. You are the first ones in the line, so just stay safe. And we're done. Roomies.
Have a great one.
Bye-bye.